You are enjoying your unfulfilled desire. When you are enjoying your unfulfilled desire, then you are feeling in that moment exactly as your source feels, the inner you feels. Because from that perspective, you know that we are all eternally incomplete. And those two words mean the same thing, eternal and incomplete. For to continue to be, we must continue to become. And if we are continuing to become, then we must now be incomplete. And it is our most sincere desire that you get used to that. When you stand in your now, clear that you want something that has not yet manifested, and it is uncomfortable in its absence. Oh, there are so many things that go wrong with that. Because in your awareness that it hasn't happened, you hold yourself in vibrational harmony with its not happening. So it can't happen. And you are expressing your now in a way of feeling unfulfilled. In other words, you are not allowing your connection with who you really are. But when you stand in your now, aware that there is something more for you to become, to be or have or do, and you know it hasn't happened yet, but it is this fresh desire that is calling you forth. Now you've tapped into the eternalness of that which we all are. In the same way that you don't get up on any morning and say, I think I will eat all of the food for the rest of my life today, just in case there is shortage later, or this is a particularly good selection of food before me. I think I'll just stock up now and eat it all. And then I just won't need to eat anymore. You don't do that because you know that there will always be another hunger, another thirst, another food, another fulfilling moment. And all hungers are that way. All desires are that way. They continually will be born, just like your appetite for food. And the universe will continually fulfill, just like your appetite for food. There will always be enough. There will always be exactly enough. It will always be exactly proportionate to the measure of your desire. The only question is, in any moment, how close in vibrational proximity to your desire are you? That is what this gathering is about. We call it the art of allowing. The art of allowing myself to be a vibrational match to my desires. It is not the art of allowing unwanted things. It is not the art of allowing others, because I really do not, as I stand in my physical form, have anything to say about what anyone else is creating. It is the art of allowing my vibrational alignment with my source. It is the art of allowing my vibrational alignment with my desire. The art of allowing myself to be a vibrational match to the well-being that is. Sometimes when we talk about allowing, people think that it means looking out and finding some unwanted thing and just putting up with it, not making a fuss about it. And we say, you have to understand that the premise of all of this is that well-being is the order of this universe, that well-being is the only source that flows. And when you are in vibrational alignment with that well-being, you thrive. You never walk into a room and look for a dark switch. You don't expect to flood some source of darkness that covers up the light. You know that there is light that can be resisted. You don't say, oh, the sun is coming up, and look how bright it is, and oh, the blob is coming up, and look how dark it is. You know that there is a source of light which can be resisted. And there is a source of well-being, a source of clarity, a source of abundance, a source of wellness. There is a source of all that you consider to be good that you can allow or not. And when you don't allow it, you say, there is the absence of the well-being, but it would go ever so much better for you if you would talk in terms of the absence of wellness because I've pinched it off, rather than the presence of illness as if it has the ability to assert. There is the absence of well-being in my life right now because I have been focused upon things other than well-being, and I have managed to hold myself in vibrational disharmony with well-being. And so in the absence of the well-being, I'm experiencing not so much well-being, but there is not a source of not well-being. And you have to really begin with that premise before the art of allowing can even begin to make any sense. What am I allowing? I'm allowing the well-being to flow, or I'm not allowing the well-being to flow. How do you know which you're doing? You can tell by the way you feel. The better you feel, the more you are allowing your connection with Source. The worse you feel, the more you have chosen in this moment to focus upon and therefore activate vibrations within you that are disallowing the well-being. Vibrations like radio signals. You know that you cannot set your radio dial on 98.6 and hear what is being broadcast on 101. That makes perfect sense to you. You never demand your radio to give you something different than you have calibrated with your dial. And yet sometimes you stand in your physical body calibrated for a vibration that is not what you want, and then you wonder, why am I not getting this thing that I want, even though I rarely think about it? You always get what you think about. You always get what is a vibrational match to you, because law of attraction says that which is likened to itself is drawn. So here you are, flesh, blood, and bone, beautiful beings. But more than that, you are vibrational beings. You are electrical beings. You are source energy, consciousness, focused here in this physical body. And as you focus here in this physical body, you have this magnificent sensor within you that lets you know everything about your relationship with your source. It lets you know how much source energy you're summoning and how closely in alignment you are with that source energy. Your passion lets you know you have focused well. You have focused quite some time. You have activated strong vibration about something. And the summoning power is huge. And in that feeling of passion, which is positive emotion, in that powerful passion, you can feel the strength of your desire coupled with the absence of any resistance. When you feel strong negative emotion, grief or anger, frustration, depression, fear, any of those emotions that you describe as negative emotions, that means if it is a strong emotion, you have a powerful wanting that is focused within you, but right now you've activated something contradictory to it. So what we're really talking about here today is the direction of your thought. We're really talking about the focusing of your creative energy. But we're also talking about your alignment with that creative energy and your allowing of that creative energy. It all still falls under the category of focus, and you'll get really good at it. You'll get so good at it that in every moment you'll know your relationship with your source. You'll know how much you're summoning and how much you're allowing of that which you are summoning. There are 3 steps to the creation process, whether you are aware of it or not. The first step is you must ask, which you do naturally. Your environment helps you to focus your own personal desire, your personal perfect desire. Source always answers. That's step 2. You don't need to worry about that. When you ask, it is always given every single time fully, more fully than you could even contemplate in any moment. Preferences are being born continually. Those preferences are exuding from you, and Source is hearing your constantly amended decision, desire, preference of who you are and what you want. It happens in every moment that you are consciously focused. And it happened even before you came forth into this body. Your intentions about who you are and what you are wanting and the glorious life you are planning on living all set forth even before the birthing of this physical you. So here is you, focused in your now, with desire exuding from you, Source hearing every subtle nuance, completely understanding and answering, and lining up for you in a pre-paving fashion, the likes of which we could not begin to describe, circumstances and events to answer your every desire, because you are blessed beings, genius creators, here on the leading edge of thought, intending to do just that. And now, you must be a vibrational match to what you're asking for. Which means, as you have asked for some dollars, or as you have asked for some wellness, you cannot stand in this place saying, I want something that is over there, and get there. Because as you stand here, so aware of how it feels to be here without what's over there, and what's over here is so activated within you, it's the common mood or attitude that you hold. Even though you're saying, I want that, you're exuding more energy about this. And law of attraction is answering your vibrational outpouring. So occasionally you say, I really want that because I don't like this. But if the because I don't like this is the dominant vibration, then you can't get that. And so the art of allowing is about being aware of where your vibration is and gently, steadily moving it more and more and more and more and more toward what you desire. It's about gently but consistently modifying your vibrational output so that it matches your desire and who you really are more often than it matches the absence of who you are and what you want. So we know it is not an easy thing to be standing in a situation that is not pleasing. Maybe there's something happening with your body. And your body is so often with you that it's hard for you to get your attention from it. So you find yourself thinking about it. You may have even gone to some specialist who has looked at it and amplified it and diagnosed it and given your body a particularly disturbing label. And then you might be talking to your friends about it who know people who have experienced it. And then you might be recalling your familiar history about it. And so without realizing it, you may be talking about your current state of physical condition quite a bit. In fact, you find yourself feeling this is just the way that it is. This is the way that it is. And we say, well, if that's the way that it is, and that's the way that you feel that it is, it can't move very far from that because you've got your radio dial set on 98.6. That's what you're going to keep hearing. Well, you say, well, how can I get off this? How can I activate a different vibration? And we say, remember a different time, or imagine a different time, or observe someone else having a different time. Focus in some way that deactivates your concern about your health. Well, how can I deactivate something? By activating something else. Because when you say, I'm going to deactivate my concern about health, you've activated it. When you say, I'm not going to think about it anymore, you're thinking about what you're not going to think about. When you say, no, I want not that, you've included that in your vibration. So the key to being the experiencer of what you want is to think about what you want, or at least, don't think about what you don't want. So that's sort of the tricky part, because every subject is really two subjects, isn't it? It's what you want and what you don't want, all on the same subject. There is health and lack of it. There is abundance and lack of it. There is clarity and lack of it. And so sometimes when you've been beating the drum of something for quite a while, you talked about it when you were little, you talked about it with your mother, you talked about it with your family, it's part of your family history. You've talked about it with your friends, it's manifesting all around you. It's sort of the drum that you're beating, it's the drum that you're beating, it's the drum that you're beating. So as you're beating this drum and practicing the beating of that drum, and then you say, oh, but I don't want this, I want that, I don't want this, I want that, I don't want this, I want that. We say, somehow or other, you got to turn over here and start beating a different drum. You've got to start speaking the words and feeling the feelings and thinking the thoughts of wellness in order to experience wellness. Or at least you've got to stop beating the drum of not wellness. So here's something that we think many of you could benefit from immediately that you are not quite yet understanding or at least doing, and that is, you don't have to beat the drum of wellness in order to be well, but you have to stop beating the drum of illness. So you could beat the drum of pretty roses, or you could beat the drum of petting your cat, or you could beat the drum of being in love, or you could beat the drum of a new hobby, or you could beat the drum of a book you're enjoying, or you could beat the drum of putting your feet in the lake. You could beat the drum of all kinds of things that feel good and leave the subject of your physical body completely off the drum table for a little while. You don't have to think about your body being well for your body to be well. But you've got to stop thinking about your body not being well. So just distract yourself. Find some aspect of your life that is working. And here is the key to allowing all things that you want. Find something that works and beat the drum of it. Because when you beat the drum of something that works, you activate that feeling of success. You activate that feeling of well-being about something working.